Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by to episode 1 of my series with the ultimate steps of how to have a smooth and hassle-free travel experience. I have done all the work for you, so all you have to do is follow my instructions. In this video, I will give you a refresher course in how to prepare for your trip, whether you are a first-time traveler or a seasoned veteran. The airport and airline rules are always changing, and if you can't keep up with them, I do it all for you. I try to include all my secret tips and nuggets sprinkled throughout the video, so please stay until the end to get the whole scoop. Let's get started now. Yes, the first thing to do is to check in 24 hours before. This is very important to consider prior to departure. Be sure to do this. It will save you a ton of time when you get to the airport, and instead of standing in a line waiting to check in, you can just go to the kiosk and check yourself in. One more thing about checking in 24 hours before departure is you get to secure your seat on the airplane and not get bumped from the flight. People who don't check in beforehand may experience flight delays if the flights are oversold and there aren't enough seats. Never go on a trip without travel apps. Okay, now that you have checked in for your flight 24 hours beforehand, it is time to cover a few additional things that you should consider. You will need some apps for your phone and other essentials. You will also need an Esim card, especially if you are traveling on an international flight. Make sure you download Google Translate on your phone so you can handle any language barrier you are confronted with. But be sure to download the local language in the app so you can use it while you are offline. This is very important since some areas don't have Wi-Fi or cell phone service. There are several ways that you can use the app if you don't know the language of the visiting country. You can use the microphone feature to listen to overhead airport announcements when you are returning from your trip. This is very useful when you are also on the train, traveling to a destination inside the country. You can actually speak into the app to have it translate for you. You can do the same thing when you are at a restaurant or in the hotel. You cannot do with an Esim card and make sure you top it up. Be sure to top up your Esim card before you travel so you don't have to use your own SIM card and incur costly roaming fees. For example, I traveled to Canada from the United States once and incurred high roaming charges. On my next trip, I bought an Esim card and was able to use it instead. I can recommend Flier, an Esim card you can use in any destination country to cut down on roaming charges. After downloading the app, choose an affordable data plan for immediate access to the internet as soon as the plane lands. That means you don't have to switch your physical SIM card. I have a link to Flier so you can learn more about this recommended Esim card that I use. Next, please make sure you download the Google Map app for the location you will be traveling to. This will aid in your navigation even if you don't have internet access. It is also a good idea to have access to an offline Google Map with the hotel's name and address saved in it. This information might be required by immigration when you enter the country. If you are on a long-haul flight, it is ideal to download games and movies on your tablet or phone to keep you occupied and to provide in-flight entertainment without the need for internet access. You can also download books you can read on the flight as well. Be sure to also download the airline's app to keep updated with flight changes. Make copies of your travel documents or take photos of them before arriving at the airport. For an international or long-haul flight, be sure to get to the airport at least 3 hours prior to boarding the plane. If it is a domestic flight, you can arrive roughly 2 hours before the flight. If you have to check a bag, then it is best to add another half an hour or an hour to your arrival time, because sometimes those lines can be very long at the airport. One word of caution, though, is to check the airline's website or app to make sure the flight is not delayed. You can also sign up for flight alerts to come directly to your phone. FlightAware.com is another option. It tracks flights and can provide free details about the flights. Just type in the flight number and you will get the most updated details. If you checked in online and have a boarding pass, you don't have any checked luggage, you can go directly to the airport security line. But if you have a checked bag or do not have a boarding pass, you have to stop by the check-in desk or airport kiosk first. If you are a first-time traveler, I would recommend that you go to the check-in desk whether you are traveling with a carry-on bag only. You will be able to ask questions and get help from the agent. I know airport security is the one thing you dread. I have done several videos about this topic. You can check out my TSA checkpoint playlist. But before approaching the line, be sure to have your passport and boarding pass in hand. Be mentally prepared to remove your shoes, electronics, jacket, if you have one on, and laptop out of your bag, as well as your liquids in a Ziploc bag. You can avoid most of these steps by signing up to TSA PreCheck, Clear, or Global Entry. I have also done a video about this subject in the playlist. Here are some additional tips if you have to go through airport security. Make sure you place everything in the plastic bin, which means you have to empty your pockets so you avoid additional screening. Once your belongings are in the bin, you will be asked to walk through the X-ray machine. You might also be asked to raise your 2 hands above your head. This is the required procedure, so don't be alarmed. Sometimes you might even have your hands swabbed. Some TSA agents will use a handheld wand to pat you down if the body scanner beeps while you are going through. After all that, try to grab your possessions quickly and go to the nearby bench to put your shoes on and put stuff back in your bag. If your bag is flagged, you may have to approach the agent and watch as your bag is searched and inspected. I would suggest that you go to the airport's website before your flight to learn about the items that are prohibited. Now let's discuss what to do next. Check your boarding pass to see the gate for your departure. Check the departure boards also to see if the plane will be on time, or sometimes there is a gate change. The departure board will be updated with this information. In some cases, the gate is a pretty long walk, so be prepared for that. Most flights board about 45 minutes before takeoff, so if you are early, you can go grab coffee, water, or snacks. But be aware that airport food is very expensive. If you can bring food from home, that would be more ideal. If you have an hour or more to spare before boarding, you can check out the airport lounge. Sometimes they have cheap day passes, or if you are a loyalty customer, you can use your points. Otherwise, just go directly to your departure gate and wait for boarding to be announced. While waiting, charge your electronics, but don't charge your phone. Instead, charge your power bank. There have been reports of scammers who can put malware on your phone when you use the airport's charging ports. Okay, it is now time to board your flight. Most airlines board passengers by group numbers, which will be displayed on your boarding pass. I have also done a specific video on the boarding process, which you can check out. I will leave the link in the description. Okay, so when your group number is called, get in line with the other passengers until your turn to show your passport and boarding pass. A flight attendant will be at the entrance of the plane to greet you. Proceed to the aisle to find your seat. Your seat number is always on your boarding pass. If you have a carry-on, stow it in the overhead bin once you have located your seat. If you are traveling with a personal item such as a backpack, put it under the seat in front of you once you are seated. If you need your phone, tablet, book, headphones, neck pillow, or snack, it would be best to remove these from your bag right away. If they can fit, place them in the seat pocket in front of you until you need them. Fasten your seatbelt now and get comfy. Here are a few tips to help you get comfy during the flight. Be sure to stay hydrated, which means that you should have a refillable water bottle with you. The airline will only give you a small quantity of water, which may not be enough for a long-haul flight. Put on your noise-canceling headphones to keep out the noise and chatter of other passengers. If you don't have headphones, you should consider earbuds. I highly recommend the Moondrop Space Travel Bluetooth earbuds. It is my special go-to if I want a peaceful flight and to avoid the air pressure. One thing that helped me to stay comfy is my gel seat cushion for travel. It is a game changer, especially for long flights. I also never leave my neck pillow and eye mask for any flight, whether it is domestic or international. I would recommend the Air Inflatable Travel Pillow with a hoodie that fits over your head and ears, and the breathable sleep mask for men and women. Don't forget your compression socks, because sitting on a plane, whether it is a long-haul flight or not, the proper blood circulation can be an issue. You can bring a foot hammock, if possible, for added comfort. All the recommended links are in the description. With these tips, you will be able to start planning your trip more effectively. I will be posting episode 2 in a few days, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out, and like, as well as share this video. In my next episode, I will discuss what to do when you get to your destination. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out the links in the description, and if you feel so inclined, buy me a cup of coffee to support the channel. The link is also in the description. It would certainly be much appreciated. Until then, see you in the next video.